Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Christina with Born Again Happy. Another beautiful Sunday morning. And today we are doing lesson 109 of Course in Miracles text. And the title of today's lesson is I Rest in God. Sorry, I'm still one-handed here, so trying to adjust. Okay. We ask for rest today, and quietness unshaken by the world's appearances. We ask for peace and stillness in the midst of all the turmoil born of clashing dreams. We ask for safety and for happiness, although we seem to look on danger and on sorrow. And we have the thought that we'll answer our asking with what we request. I rest in God. This thought will bring to you the rest and quiet, peace and stillness, and the safety and the happiness you seek. I rest in God. This thought has power to wake the sleeping truth in you, whose vision sees beyond appearances, to that same truth in everyone and everything there is. Here is the end of suffering for all the world and everyone who ever came and yet will come to linger for a while. Here is the thought in which the Son of God is born again to recognize himself. I rest in God. Completely undismayed, this thought will carry you through storms and strife, past misery and pain, past loss and death, and onward to the certainty of God. There is no suffering it cannot heal. Isn't that a relief to know? We rely on ourselves to try and solve everything in our lives. And if we just give it over and rest in God, healing comes. It's done. It's completely done. There is no problem that it cannot solve, and no appearance but will turn to truth before the eyes of you who rest in God. This is the day of peace. You rest in God, and while the world is torn by winds of hate, your rest remains completely undisturbed. Yours is the rest of truth. Appearances cannot intrude on you. You call to all to join you in your rest, and they will hear and come to you because you rest in God. They will not hear another voice than yours because you gave your voice to God, and now you rest in Him and let Him speak through you. I've got this shoulder injury, and as much as I'm dedicating myself to these lessons every day, I find myself still Dr. Googling on symptoms and when this should be healed, and how long should I be in the sling, and why am I feeling a weird pain all of a sudden, and what should I do? And I am dedicating myself to this coursework and to healing spiritually, internally, and yet my mind is split because I am not trusting in God's work. I am not resting in God. I am not finding myself resting in perfect happiness. I'm not allowing them. I am literally stopping the miracles from showing up because I'm relying on the things I've only known to rely on, to do more research, get more information. And it is coming from a panicked, disturbed place. It's not coming from a soft, trusting place. And this lesson, all the lessons, and I know this shoulder injury, whatever is happening with me, is kind of part of my awakening. And I have to rest in God. I've already gone, to the doctors, and I'm taking their advice, and I would never say don't, go on what has been evaluated in terms of like healing and getting the right medication. I would never say to go against that, but the natural steps of maybe going to the doctor and getting evaluated and kind of taking those necessary steps is not that big of deal. Not that big a deal. I can do that. But the extra that I'm adding, which is the worrying and the further research, rather than just allowing the healing to take place and then just going through the natural next steps of what is next, I need to rest in God. I need to take this lesson in and drink it with all conviction and determination. And not just to like heal my shoulder, but actually to feel peace while sitting in this injury. Because it is possible to feel peace and love and joy while facing a lot of uncertainty. And when you can really get this concept, I rest in God, you just have a knowing at a cell level, all is taken care of. All is well. This is the day of peace. You rest in God, and while the world is torn by winds of hate, your rest remains completely undisturbed. Yours is the rest of truth. Appearances cannot intrude on you. You call to all to join you in your rest, and they will hear and come to you because you rest in God. They will not hear another voice than yours because you gave your voice to God. I'm sorry, I'm absolutely repeating this, but it's fine. And now you rest in Him and let Him speak through you. Maybe I meant to repeat this. It's really powerful when you can speak the words of God to yourself, and then you're speaking to the masses, even just vibrationally in your energy. And you speak truth when you're speaking, when you allow God to speak through you. Resting in God is letting His love and light just stream through your entire being, your existence, and everything that makes up your existence, your home, your family, your pets, everything. In Him you have no cares and no concerns, no burdens, no anxiety, no pain, no fear of future, and no past regrets. In timelessness you rest, while time goes by without its touch upon you, for your rest can never change in any way at all. You rest today, and as you close your eyes, sink into stillness. Let these periods of rest and respite reassure your mind that all its frantic fantasies were but the dreams of fever that has passed away. Let it be still and thankfully accept its healing. No more fearful dreams will come now that you rest in God. Take time today to slip away from dreams and into peace. Each hour that you take your rest today, a tired mind is suddenly made glad. A bird with broken wings begins to sing. A stream long dry begins to flow again. And you will feel those. When a stream that is dried up is replenished and begins to flow, that is what happens to your nervous system when you just be still and know the truth of who you are and what your function is here. And it's only that, is to be at rest, to be in a constant state of peace and flow and joy. The world is born again each time you rest, and hourly remember that you came to bring the peace of God into the world, that it might take its rest along with you. With each 5 minutes that you rest today, the world is nearer waking, and the time when rest will be the only thing there is comes closer to all worn and tired minds, too weary now to go their way alone. And they will hear the bird begin to sing and see the stream begin to flow again, with hope reborn and energy restored, to walk with lightened steps along the road that suddenly seems easy as they go. You rest within the peace of God today and call upon your brothers from your rest to draw them to their rest along with you. You will be faithful to your trust today, forgetting no one, bringing everyone into the boundless circle of your peace, the holy sanctuary where you rest. Open the temple doors and let them come from far across the world. Can you visualize that? You standing within the temple, and you open the doors in your peace and glory, and you, with open arms and your open temple doors, you say, come inside and be with me, be with one in God. That's incredible. Come one, come all, and come join. Open the temple doors and let them come from far across the world and near as well, your distant brothers and your closest friends. Bid them all enter here and rest with you. I visualize some of my travels and the many, especially in Asia, and there's temples everywhere. I just had a vision of me inside one of those temples and seeing all of the tourists with their cameras and their, and their phones, and they're taking their, they're creating their stories and making content, and then the families, and everybody's jet lagged, but they're all bustling around trying to see all of the neat things around the temple, and I open the temple doors and I allow all these tourists from all over the world that are jet lagged and tired and maybe a little stressed but enjoying. I just have them all come in and lay their worries and their anxieties at the temple doors, and leave their phones and leave all of that at the temple doors, and just walk in and feel at peace. Just sit in that truth. Incredible. You rest within the peace of God today, quiet and unafraid. Each brother comes to take his rest and offer it to you. You rest together here, for thus our rest is made complete. And what we give today we have received already. Time is not the guardian of what we give today. We give to those unborn and those passed by, to every thought of God, and to the mind in which these thoughts were born and where they rest. and we remind them of their resting place each time we tell ourselves, I rest in God. So every time I get a fearful thought because I feel a popping sensation in my shoulder or a dull pain, or I'm concerned about kind of the going-ons in my life and what the future holds or what will happen with this problem or that problem, I have to just stop that ugly fear. Stop it before it gets any sort of momentum or traction, and just say, I rest in God. That thought is a wound. I'm not carrying it with me into the temple. I only bring my truth into the temple. None of my worries, none of my aches, none of my injuries, physical or emotional. I come inside the temple completely emptied and void of all past mistakes, all future worries, any anxieties. And I bring with me all my brothers, my family, my friends, my past loved ones that are long gone, my future grandchildren, great-grandchildren, hopefully, and if not, whomever and everyone are coming in with me into this temple to sit and rest in peace, rest in truth, rest in God. Today, being a Sunday, is a perfect day of rest. It's a perfect day to say, I don't have to take any of this with me anywhere ever again. It's pretty significant time as we are in a new moon. And if you want astrology, I'm not your girl, but there's thousands of channels that will go quite in depth as to the unusual amount of planetary phenomenon that's going on right now simultaneously. It's almost it's wild because it hasn't it's been, I don't even know if in our lifetimes they've seen so many transits happening right now. So if you are getting a nudge or a shout to release the wound once and for all, yeah, I am your confirmation. It's time to do it. Come into the temple completely empty of everything. Your bank accounts, your titles, your status, your followers, your likes, your subscribers, your fashion style, all of it. Come empty. Leave it at the door. It's there waiting for you when you come back out, but they'll take on new meaning, or you'll find you won't need them anymore. Sit in the temple today. Rest in God today. Try to remember every hour. Take 5 minutes every hour if you can, especially when things start to ramp up, because they will. When you do this work, the energy also starts to flow in the other direction. Lesson 109. I rest in God. Rest in God with me today. I love you. I'm giving you many, many blessings. Till next time, have a beautiful day. Take care.